Hello Muskogee Nation of Oklahoma, welcome to the Culinary Kitchen. This is Chef Jason of Native Chef LLC. Today we're going to be doing a really fun recipe. We're going to be making homemade hummus. And I don't know if you guys have ever tried hummus, but if you're diabetic like me, it's a really nice and easy snack to make at home. Doesn't cost a whole lot of money, but the main thing that costs money is a tahini. Tahini is ground up sesame seeds, and if you do make that purchase, this was about $6. I think try to use it and try to make it again like within a week or two, so that you can utilize your investment when you buy this. And pretty easy recipe. Everything's in front of me. That first step is done of the recipe. Again, you got to make sure that everything's in front of you. You don't have to stop, go to the grocery store, get something. You've already accomplished, everything's in front of you. So that's done. And then again, I continue to use staples that I've invested in. Paprika, cumin. This stuff was a little bit of investment at the beginning, but I'm utilizing it over and over and over again. And again, with these videos, you'll hear me talk about you have to look at the recipe and think to yourself, what needs to be done first? And in that case, we're going to be roasting this red pepper. So we need to get that in the oven first so that we can start cooling it and then take the skin off. And so we'll start with that, and I'm just going to have a lot of fun today. You got to have fun in the kitchen. I promote having fun in the kitchen. And we're also going to cut up some fresh veggies to throw on the side to dip into the hummus. So gonna have a lot of fun. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you again to the Muskogee Nation of Oklahoma for bringing me in to present from my home here in Eudora, Kansas. I have a great time doing these videos, and I'm just so fortunate and thankful that you're watching today, and I hope you learned something. Let's have fun. We'll get started. Okay, first thing we want to do is we want to take this inner part of the red pepper out, and we want to knock the seeds out. And then once you have all that inside out, we don't really need to put any oil on these. And I put a piece of parchment paper down on my roasting pan just to help out, so I don't have to scrub it too much whenever I wash. If you watch the Kitchen Essentials video, I'm pretty sure I had parchment paper in, but if it wasn't there, parchment paper is a really, really great investment to use, especially when you're cooking a lot in the oven. Saves so much time in dishes. So what I've done is I've preheated my oven to 425, and I'm going to throw these in there, and it should take about 25 minutes to roast. Okay, while the red pepper's in the oven roasting, I'm going to go ahead and cut up some veggies. And it's nice to have some good veggies to dip into your hummus. And all I'm going to do here is make some carrot sticks first. So just be careful using the knife when you're making these cuts. Next up, I'm going to cut up some celery sticks. So I'm just cutting these, and I washed them really good. And then I'm just going to cut them into strips here. And then last, we'll cut up some broccoli. And these are just broccoli crowns. So basically what I do is I just start trimming down like they're trees right off the edges until I get to the middle. And then here in the middle, I'll just cut them in half. So I like to save these ends pieces right here. So we'll have these for dippers. Okay, the bell peppers are done roasting, so it's been about 25 minutes. And what we want to do now, you see they've got a nice char. So carefully take them off of the roasting pan. And then what we want to do is we want to put them on in a bowl. And we want to saran wrap this. So we'll just take this bowl here and we'll put a piece of saran wrap on. And what we want to do is we want to let these cool completely. And by covering it with saran wrap, it will help take that. We want to release that peel really easily. So by covering it, we'll kind of protect that steam that's leaving, and let this completely cool. And we'll go ahead and work on making our hummus while this cools. Okay, we're going to go ahead and make our hummus here, and so what I did was I just simply opened 2 cans of chickpeas, and then I rinsed them off really good and I let them drain really well. So I'll add that to our food processor here. This is just a Ninja food processor. I peeled some garlic. I didn't finely mince it. I just cut them into third pieces. We'll add that, and we'll add some olive oil to this. We'll add the juice of 2 lemons. And again, what I did was I squeezed the lemon juice in a bowl first, and any seeds that were in there, I scooped the seeds out. I've always done that with lemons, and sometimes you can get those, you know, professional lemon squeezers that keep that, but I assume that not everyone's going to have that, so I try to show people, you know, how to do it. You know, you don't really want to put too many seeds in there if you can help it. And then this is some of that tahini. And what's important whenever you're handling tahini is that it's just like peanut butter. Basically, the oils kind of come to the top, so it's important that you really stir it as well as you can with like a long spoon. Try to get some of that sesame seed paste mixed back in with the oils that separated. And we'll add 1/3 cup of this. And then we'll add some cumin. One of my favorite seasonings to use, cumin. And then we'll add some sea salt. And then basically we'll just cover it and we'll puree it. And then after that initial puree here, we're going to add a little bit of water. First I'm going to scrape down the sides and get these pieces down in there. And then we'll add some water. You can always add, you can't take away, so just add a little bit at a time. And then we'll see what the consistency looks like. If you like yours thinner, then add more water. So this is about the consistency that we're looking for. Looks good. And if there's any little chunky pieces in there, and they were going to ask, how come this thing's a little bit chunky, like I found a chunky piece? Well, that's telling everybody that it's homemade, okay? That's a good sign that it's homemade. So what we'll do now is we'll go ahead and cut up our red pepper, and we'll put that on top of this. Okay, our red peppers have cooled down so that we can handle them. So now you'll see how easily this skin comes off. So basically what we want to do is we just want to grab this skin on the outside and peel it off so that we just get that inside pulp. It comes off pretty easily. And then once we get that outside off, what we want to do is we want to fine mince this. So I'll just cross chop this way. And then we'll turn them, and then we'll cross cut this way. So I'll put our hummus in a nice serving bowl here. Then we'll take some of this roasted red pepper and we'll just put it right in the middle. That way when people dip their toppings or their veggies in it, it'll kind of stir into the hummus really nicely. And then we'll take some carrots, put them on each side. We'll take some celery and put it on this side. And then we'll fill these other two sides with some broccoli. Well, that does it for this recipe, and I don't know how many of you guys are hummus fans, but try this recipe. You are going to love this one. If you're not a hummus fan, or if you haven't really had it much, it's a really easy snack to make. It's good for snacks, good for dips, good for, you could even use it in place of mayonnaise on sandwiches. It's a good protein dish, and pretty easy to make, and if you really, really love hummus, you're going to love this. And so what we're doing here is we're controlling what's in our food, right? So you can buy hummus pre-made, but you can't even pronounce half of the ingredients that are in there. There's stuff in there that they put in there that lets it sit on the shelf, stable life, for like 3 or 4 months, maybe even longer. When you make it at home here, it's not going to last for 3 or 4 months. It might only last about 5 days to 7 days, but at least you're not putting all that stuff in that preserves it, okay? You're cooking more at home, you're making more food at home. We're controlling what's in our food. If you can't afford to get tahini, try to use peanut butter, creamy peanut butter. That'll be a good replacement for tahini, but if you can afford to get this, and again, don't make it once and let it sit in your fridge for 3 or 4 months and then throw it away. Try to make it, at least once every other week to use this up. So 1/3 of a cup goes a long ways in this. You probably get about 4 servings out of this at 1/3 of a cup. The roasted red pepper, it's a really easy cooking technique to do, really simple. And if you ever like roasted red pepper soup, this is a good way to start that. Get rid of that peeling. And that's a good dish as well. So I had a great time today. I'm gonna enjoy this dip, and probably have it for dinner tonight as well. And I got a lot of veggies to eat, so that's important. Try to keep eating those veggies. If you make hummus at home and do this stuff, get the kids involved. I work with kids a lot on different reservations and boys and girls clubs, and the best thing to them is letting them get to be part of the cooking process, and let them push the button on the processor, stuff like that. I mean, it goes a long ways. So get them involved. The earlier we can get our kids involved with cooking, the better, so that they cook later on in life. So had a great time. Thank you so much for watching today. I appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care and stay safe out there. Miigwech.